Okay, so this is uses of the salt bridge. So the first use, as alluded to in the previous video on how a cell works, was to complete the circuit. If we didn't have the salt bridge, the circuit would not be complete. But there is a second use, which I'm going to talk about now. So as a quick recap, we've got one half cell here, the zinc, and then a copper half cell on the other side. As the zinc half cell has the more negative electrode potential, we know that one is going to be getting oxidized, so that's going to be losing electrons, which means the more positive electrode potential must be getting reduced. And then the electrons will go up through here, up the wire to the other side. Now, when this happens, when we get this oxidation reaction, as we already said, the electrons that are being produced will travel up the electrode and through the wire. But the ions that are being produced will go into the solution. So this solution will steadily be building up more and more positive charge. On the opposite side, what's going to be happening is the copper ions that were in solution, let's say I've got a copper ion here, will pick up an electron from the electrode to become an atom. So this solution is losing positive copper ions. So that's becoming more negative. If you lose the positive ions, you become more negative. And these positive ions are picking up electrons from the electrode to become solid copper. So this electrode would actually get bigger over time as these solid copper atoms add to it. This electrode here would get crumble and get smaller over time because the atoms are changing into ions. Okay. Now this is a problem because if your charge here gets too positive and if your charge here gets too negative, the cell will stop working. And here's where the salt bridge's second function comes in. So we've got potassium nitrate that can split up into K plus and NO3 minus. There are other salts you can use. This is just a good example of one. Then what happens is your negative nitrates go into the solution that was becoming too positive and balance out the charge. And your positive potassiums go into the solution that was becoming too negative and again balance out the charge. So the second job of the salt bridge is to balance the charges of the solutions.